Hey guys, welcome back to the 2014 European Challenger Series playoffs. We're jumping right into our second quarterfinal game between mousesports and Reason Gaming. Now, Reason took game one. We're going to see if the mice will be able to come back and force a game three.
And mousesports played well, but ultimately their global presence wasn't enough in the late game. They weren't using the teleport or the Stand United.
Yeah.
And the top laner and AD carry played well. The rest of the team will have to match their efforts in game two. And Reason Gaming, just in the overall, without those summoner spells, the teleport and the Stand United available to them, had more map pressure and better control.
Yeah.
Just grouping up and forcing the issue. The Ziggs Siege was fantastic.
Absolutely.
The Caitlyn ace in the holes to get TakeFun out of the fight, which is great.
And I'm also impressed by beansu because first pick for Renekton, counter-picked quote-unquote by Shen. It's a good pick to go for Shen there in that matchup. And even though at one point Kubon and Shen had like a level lead, had a gold lead, was strong overall, you never saw Shen really pull that much negative attention. Like, yeah, he would get ganked once in a while, but like didn't break the siege apart by being a Shen. Pulled some attention, but kind of got stopped pretty often. And never sort of won that matchup on that sort of outscaling Shen. So I got to say, beansu held him down well. Never got punished for the late game, really, in any situation. And the push came through really well.
Yeah, I was really surprised he wasn't making use of the Stand United. That's the big thing for me. If you're going to pick Shen, use all of his kit to your advantage. You see people force the issue and be like, all right, it's a ticking time bomb. Shen is going to take top turret if we don't fight now.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, is they didn't have the wave clear to keep Reason Gaming off of the turrets. That's why the Katarina pick was kind of in a dyssynergy there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Gragas, I know you talked about that in the post game. Gragas would have made sense.
Times.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. You know, something more offensive and a little bit more longer range that can deal with threats. I also like the fact that Reason Gaming, they identified some of the Shen pushes and said, you know, we'll give top outer for Dragon. Dragon's worth more gold. It's worth more experience. Eventually, we'll lose top outer turret to Shen if you keep getting kind of enslaved by that idea. You just stop making plays. And the fact that the teams are, I really like the teams that are able to make smart trades. Say, you will get this, but we will get this, and this trade is in our favor. And for no contest, we'll just go up 200 gold. The teams that identify that and do it right, smart teams.
Oh, yeah. Just tiny gains over and over again, and then it adds up. It's like, we got 200 gold here, there, and now it's a 1,000 gold lead.
Yep.
And then you're like, all right, let's group up and fight, because we have 1,000 more gold in combat stats, and then snowball it from there.
Yeah.
Just getting those tiny advantages, the tiny, tiny trades. It's like Dragon for turret. This Dragon's worth a little bit more now. Or they get it to just stay in tow. Yeah. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. So I want to see now what else mousesports can bring out. So last time these guys matched, mousesports were in the same comp twice.
Yeah.
And it didn't work. So for their sake, I hope they run a different comp here. I think like they didn't play some of the basics of the comp properly. Now there's a lot of things down in the back in the background that they can still play. Instead of the Shen, who's kind of a passive play around your team top laner, the fact that Kubon held up pretty well, survived ganks, and kind of thrived really well, I want to see him play the Ryze, play the Jax, play the Irelia, play the late game carries that he can kind of just go even, wait around for a while, and then be a huge threat late. Be an actual impact. And then if he waits around with his team in team fights, that's fine. If Jax is waiting to team fight with the team, that's where Jax wants to be. He can go kill people. That's not a big problem. On top of that, KonDzi has a fun champion pool himself. He plays jungle Jax, actually.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of these high damage guys, I want to see that come through as well. Now, for what it's worth, of course, mousesports did ban Kha'Zix themselves. If they can get that for KonDzi, I think that'll be an improvement as well, getting in on something a little bit more damage-based. I've never really been impressed by jungle Wukong. Even though it's a bit popular, I never see it quite work.
It's very good in solo queue.
Yeah.
That's really where it shines, because you can have that early game aggression for the most part, and then in team fights, I think it's the jungler that has probably one of the most relevant team fight abilities as an ultimate. Like Pantheon, he's like, all right, I can zone people and do some damage. Then I'm in the fight. He's like, all right, I got the CC with constant damage. Very similar to Zack's ultimate.
Yeah.
Actually, very, very similar.
Very similar to Zack's ultimate.
It's very similar. Single target knock-up, damage is just dealt a little differently, increases movement speed.
Yep. Wow. Physical damage, magic damage, different spells.
That's the difference, yeah.
There you go. Works but differently. Zonia's actually, I think, fully stops the spell as well. Yeah, so I want to see that differently. I want to see Libic. It's weird because Libic is kind of, he's just playing Annie and Morgana. I think Annie would have worked really well there. I think like a couple of small changes actually would work. As much as I said, like, mousesports should run a different comp. If you did two things differently in the comp, actually it would work.
Oh, yeah.
Like switch out Katarina or switch out Morgana for Annie. I think that's all it would kind of take. Or even switch out Shen for Jax and just like beast that lane really hard.
Yeah.
So I could see them running the same thing, but I think they do need to grab champions a little bit more comfortable to the players and so that they can make more individual plays. Because the early game went to mouse sports, and when the early game goes to you, that speaks to individual play. It speaks to you being very good players by yourselves, and if you empower those guys to carry the games, that's a big up.
No, absolutely. And it's important to note that they swap sides, of course. Now, this is very minor, but of course, Lulu is a must ban, and it's typically banned by red side.
Yeah.
So now mouse sports, they're going to have an opportunity here to get something that wasn't banned last game. Might be the Lucian, might be something else that they substitute on the side of Reason Gaming for that Lulu. Or they could just get it handed to them.
Yeah,
first pick.
You know what I feel like is actually going to happen? This is a blind guess, I don't know. I feel like, judging by how powerful bans can be against the mouse sports champion pool, Reason could leave Lulu and Kha'Zix up, get one, give the other one away. Not that big a deal. I think like Trashy could outplay KonDzi and let him get Kha'Zix. I think Sencux can hold on with someone like Ziggs against TakeFun. Never mind, Ziggs gets banned. Maybe that changes things up. But I feel like there's so many important bans like Diana, like LeBlanc away from TakeFun, that make you maybe not want to ban those two and use your bans elsewhere.
Yeah, but there's a lot of mid-centric bans coming out here.
Yeah.
Ziggs, they didn't want that because the wave clear was just so intensive last time. And they don't want to first pick it either, which is what that speaks to me. It means TakeFun, regardless of having a champion pool that's mostly centered around wave clear, if you take out the wave clear champions, who are you going to play? And wow, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
There you go. TakeFun doesn't play any Lulu.
Wow. No, you're absolutely right. He doesn't play Lulu.
Yep.
So that is...
Reason get the bans that they want. They get the LeBlanc ban from TakeFun, the Diana banned away from Kubon. This lets them ban Kha'Zix if they want. It is a champion KonDzi plays, but they could also just continue to target someone else's champion pool.
It's a very
something like Jax is
a very vulnerable position to be in when you don't play one of the most banned champions. Basically become a crutch for your team where you have to give up a ban for that.
Yeah.
So it's not a position you want to be in at all. It's a horrible place to be.
Okay, Reason don't need to ban Jax anymore because Renekton is still on the table. The Wukong comes through, moving it from Trashy. That was an early pick from Mouse Sports. They were very afraid of the Trashy Wukong. I'm not convinced, but I trust them. They're great players. So they ban the Wukong away from Trashy. He'll get maybe the Elise with the Lee Sin again. It's going to be the Rise banned away. Yep, Reason Gaming want Renekton for the top lane.
And I feel like Trashy's good enough on enough junglers that targeting almost any ban at him is not really worth that slot. I feel like if he picks Wukong, okay, that's fine. I've seen him play Lee Sin, Elise. He's had fantastic performances in all of them. We saw it again with Elise. So, very large, standard jungle champion pool that takes more than 6 bans to get through. So,
yeah. And I think Reason Gaming just won the banning phase. Because, so Mousesports got a contested pick of Yasuo. They had banned it 3 games in a row so far against Reason. They said, okay, TakeFun, bring the Yasuo in, do what you can. But Reason just got the Renekton, which is a good matchup against Jax in the first place. They got Kha'Zix jungle, the most hotly contested jungle in the game right now. They got that for themselves. So now Mousesports like, well, shoot, those are 2 really, really big picks that we just lost, that we don't necessarily have counter picks to. And they've got to get something else really big to turn this around.
We'll see if that Heimerdinger does get locked in. Don't know if it will, but in the meantime, like you said, highest priority jungler here wasn't banned away. Opt for Wukong instead, and Trashy, he's played Kha'Zix a lot in solo queue, and he wrecks with it. Just, I don't know if that pretty much goes without saying.
Yeah.
Because Trashy's just a really good jungler through and through. And I remember talking to Reason Gaming's manager way back in the day when I was just first researching them. He's like, yeah, we put a lot on Trashy's shoulders, and he will take a lot of the kills, but we're fine with that. He will carry the game. His early game aggression and objective control is on point.
Yeah.
And that's why he loves Wukong as his most played, because he'll just contest the objectives with the Cyclone.
He'll just fight you.
Exactly.
All right. So we'll see that work out. Of course, just to point out, I know we talked about Airwalks yesterday. Trashy, number 16 on the Challenger ladder. I don't think we actually spit that stat up there, but Trashy is in the top 20 in EUS solo queue. He's seriously freaking good. We've seen that here in the games. We're still going to put his praises out there. He's a really big linchpin of Reason Gaming. So Lucian, Leona comes through for the bottom lane for Reason. They're going to have a great lane pressure here. We saw that work incredibly well for Fnatic not long. I think that was the lane matchup. I'm trying to remember. No, SK played it. Candy Panda and N-Rated had a really good matchup there.
Yeah.
So Mousesports have to be aware of a very aggressive bottom lane. Morgana Caitlyn can be the pickup. And, of course, this is worth pointing out. Kubon not actually a big Lee Sin player, but I know top Lee Sin has been popular. Maybe the Elise does come through.
Everybody's been playing like a little bit of top Lee Sin lately.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. They're like, all right, that's the #1 aggressive top laner right now.
Seems to be.
Yeah, because if you just get in the lead a tiny bit,
Wow.
snowball it pretty hard. And there's a lot of physical damage coming out here. That's something to point out on the Mouse Sports lineup.
Yeah.
That almost everybody in solo lane is actually physical damage. And then you throw the Sivir on top of that. You're going to have your Elise with some % HP shred with magic damage.
Yeah.
And then the Morgana, who they actually pick the Leona into the Morgana.
Yeah.
Which...
No, Morgana came first.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay.
They picked the Leona into the Morgana.
Right, there we go.
Like the Morgana came out first, and then they picked the Leona into it.
Yep.
So he's saying we can totally do that. And Sencux,
it's back on Talon.
He's back on Talon.
Okay, so let's break down these lineups real quick.
All right.
Things are getting pretty crazy. Unless Mouse Sports don't keep swapping, because you could have support Elise mid Morgana. I doubt it, but like I don't want to throw things out of the window because we see things go all over the place, and I want to wait. And I know the rules with LCS is last 20 seconds. You have to swap by the 20-second mark. I forget if that's still the rule for Challenger. Unfortunately, I don't know that myself.
I don't believe so.
Yeah.
But
so we're going to have to wait for a while. So let's start with Reason Gaming. Honestly, aggressive early game pretty much everywhere. Renekton top lane, Kha'Zix to follow up. Lucian, Leona, great bottom lane. Talon, Sencux didn't have the best early laning phase. He actually had a lot of deaths overall because he was trying very hard to play make. He kept trying really hard to like start things out, go in, dive, make a fight happen, and then his team would clean up even if Sencux would die. And I found that to actually be very successful for him.
And so we're actually going to see a ton of armor this game because everybody on the team of Reason Gaming, physical damage. Everybody but 2 people on Mouse is physical damage, and they are not going to be getting a bulk of the gold. Unless, Elise is snowballing really hard and then starts building AP, which is... her ratios aren't that great. She does more with the % HP shred, penetration. But, anything could happen. We just saw a top lane... either Elise or Lee Sin get locked in right there for Kubon. And if anybody can play that top lane, it's going to be Kubon.
Yeah. Great player overall.
Yeah. Don't know which one it is just yet. They could have been joshing us there. I saw that Yasuo was on Libic for a bit. I was like,
no, that's a late swap.
Support
That's
Yasuo,
a big TakeFun champion. Like, I'm 90% that TakeFun's playing the Yasuo there. It's his 3rd most played in solo queue.
I don't know, man. You can win while the minions just deny CS.
Sure. And then with your no gold scaling, you'll be super useful in team fights.
Knock everybody up, man.
It's worth pointing out there's not a lot of knockups actually for the lineup. The only one they really have is the Lee Sin kick.
Yeah.
Now, of course, you can get the team into range. You can do all that kind of fun stuff. It is top lane Elise, by the way. That's where the swap ends up going there. I was surprised by top lane Lee Sin. Elise is going to come through. Now, what's interesting to me is Elise has received steady nerfs for a while. We haven't seen her in the top lane for a very long time, and Renekton is actually pretty decent versus Elise because of the sustain. With her base damages going down even lower, it'll be even harder to push beansu down. So I think Kubon has something to prove here by bringing top Elise back.
He's
great player.
Tall
we'll
order.
See if he does it. Yeah.
He's a tall order there.
Very.
Renekton, eventually, if he gets the Tiamat, he'll just clear out your Spiderlings with a Call of the Meek, Tiamat, and an auto attack. So your damage gets greatly reduced when you're in Spider form. People don't give the Spiderlings enough credit. They do a lot of damage very, very quickly.
Yes, they do.
It's the burst damage that people pay more attention to because there's a big red chunk coming out of your HP pool. But the sustain from the Spiders is ridiculous with the Skittering Frenzy on as well. Yeah. And something I want to point out is Sencux, despite not being in a ranged matchup, he goes for the Crystalline Flask because he wants the mana regen. He wants to be able to trade with TakeFun early on, who's going to have that shield for himself, who's passive. And this is how you typically start on Talon, every time. You'll pretty much always do this, because the Rake, in order to clear out the minion waves, you have to use some mana.
Yeah.
So, need that chalice. And it looks like Mouse, they go for the invade on the blue. But Reason Gaming, all in the top lane, except for beansu, who's looking for a bottom lane swap.
Ooh, interesting. So Reason, they want to hold down Elise early on by putting Lucian Leon in the top lane. Kubon's going to be in kind of a sad place here. Actually, Renekton is going to be, so KonDziSan and everyone's going to start this, and they don't actually see beansu on the side. No one's waiting in the brush. There they go. The team anyway. They're going to be fine. Kubon spots this as well. So both teams actually leaving their dual lane to grab the buff steals. And both guys are going to start with blue buffs here.
beansu eats a dark binding. How is he can't clear the camps by himself unless he backs afterwards. He doesn't have the assistance of the jungler. A lot of 2v1s will see the top laner just hang out with the jungler for a very long time. And be like, all right, soaking some EXP. It's all good. But nope, he's not going to have that luxury. And Elise does not fare as well as Renekton does. You can repel a turret dive, which is basically the only advantage that you have. Yeah,
but honestly, who cares? Elise is one of the best junglers in the game.
Yeah, he's back to it.
You know, when we talk about these lane swaps, we're like, why are the top laners jungling when the junglers are in the lane? Don't worry, Kubon picked the jungler to jungle in the early game. He had to give up his turrets and just get gold back.
It's working out for him. He's 3 CS over beansu. He got a ward for himself, so most likely ward behind him to make sure that when Trashy comes up, he will see it and know when to back off.
Yeah. He's already trinket warded his own blue buff to see if there's any more moves going on early game. Trashy's already showing up for the 3-on-1 top lane. Looks like we are going to see KonDziSan get over across the map as well. There was a ward that's going to spot this.
They're going to see each other here. Actually,
I don't think Trashy got spotted.
Trashy didn't get spotted, but Kubon's actually
going to see him.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's the formulaic 3-on-1 when you lane swap. Is that the junglers, after doing your buffs, will come into the lane, and the top laner has to give up the turret or kill themselves.
Yep. So that's going to be the case right here. Mousesports should have a small push lead here because of the fact that they are hitting an easier to damage turret, although you can't discount the damage that is going to be available. You're going to see that, the top laner is going to go down actually at a pretty similar time. I'm impressed by the damage output from Reason Gaming. These guys are going to trade pretty equally. So now Mousesports make a quick adaptation. They're going to go for early Dragon, I believe. You can see Libic putting a ward over the wall to make sure they get this. And now the question is, can Kubon keep Mousesports from losing second-tier turret top lane?
Yeah. Basically, it's a rush for Dragon versus a rush for that tier 2. What can you do? It's a push-off.
Yeah, Libic and KonDziSan going to be dodging Dragon aggro back and forth. They're going to get that pretty successfully. This Dragon's going to be worth, let's see the number, 125 per person. So a 650 gold Dragon total.
So a little bit of a miscalculation there by Reason Gaming. They decide to push, but then they all decide to back, not even getting any damage on that tier 2 turret. They give up an early Dragon for it. Granted, it's only 500 gold going into the hands of Mousesports over them. But I like the fact that TakeFun was pushing up the entire time versus Sencux, because if Sencux had showed up to the Dragon, all you had to do this early on is throw out like a rake or two. You could cutthroat somebody. If you look at how low KonDziSan is, it's ridiculous. You have to keep that mid laner down. You have to keep tabs on him, know where he is.
Yeah. So smart moves by the mid laner to keep the rotation from happening for Reason Gaming. BarneyD now going to set up his lane. You can see the ward across the wall, going to make sure that no one sneaks in. Doesn't make life too difficult for Reason Gaming's dual lane. Mach doing the same here. To watch for any ganks, and now we're actually back to standard lanes. Pretty equal CS on all sides, 21 to 24 for the AD carries, 22 to 10 for the top laner, but there's a big wave for beansu still to farm, so these guys will equalize.
So they swap it back. Dragon control is in favor of Mouse, but it's not even on the field because they got it with all that control they had accomplished. And now all these wards coming down in that area from Mousesports, even though they have the Dragon in their pockets, they're warding up all around that area to make sure that when they push up, they're safe.
Yeah, until you get wards in the blue buff, though, you can't push too much farther than this.
Yeah.
They know there's no gank pressure yet, but keep in mind, Trashy's around. There's a little bit of a root on a BarneyD. Some damage coming through. No GP10 for Libic's Morgana. Doran shield start again.
Oh, he's got knocked up. Ulti.
Good amount of damage coming through. Sencux down to 400 health. TakeFun winning that trade pretty successfully. I actually want to talk about Yasuo versus Talon, by the way. Hold on. Trashy, you might get something.
He's going to try to.
Yeah.
Trashy's a level up over KonDziSan. We also see KonDziSan over there.
Okay, Trashy shows himself.
Yeah, he's just here to help.
With TakeFun not being afraid, they have to know there's a jungler waiting.
Yeah.
He just backs off. A little bit harassed. Okay, so Talon versus Wukong, you wouldn't think, but I'll bet you odds are really high. Talon can get his full combo to always land on the TakeFun. He can always get full damage.
Oh.
Ooh, nearly gets the Q. There you go. Smite it taken away. Happy stuff for these guys. The reason I say that is because the 1 second silence is enough to get your rake to go out and to get the first part of your ulti to come through. And no matter pretty much which way Yasuo wind walls, you can position such that the second part of Shadow Assault of Talon ulti will hit at least one of those little blades, and you can probably guarantee a full combo to land. Now, whether that's enough to kill Yasuo or not remains to be seen, but here we go, engage in the bottom lane. Maka taking a bit of damage. Black Shield comes in, and the stun comes through for BarneyD on the wrong target. Libic is safe as well.
There's a lot of spell shielding and immunity in that bottom lane with the Sivir Morgana combination. Spell shield 1, go ahead and get your Black Shield. Be immune to everything else. It's a very long time of invulnerability, especially against somebody like a Leona. And once again, he does bring the exhaust to the table.
Yeah.
So BarneyD is ready for these team fights later in the game, but also keeping people down in the early part. Up on the top lane, Kubon actually has an advantage over beansu by about 10 CS.
Yeah, it's always the case when you got a sort of a push lead. There's like this hidden CS lead that's not quite as high as you expect, but even still, it's a guaranteed +6 here. So I am impressed by Kubon's play early on. The early jungling paid off with some gold. Double Doran's ring he went to the lane with. KonDzi is waiting around to look for the red buff, and he's going to aggro it right in vision.
Well, he also has the backup of Kubon here, and TakeFun's playing to that side.
Yeah, TakeFun's going to get there first. We'll see how this fight goes.
I know that Kubon's here.
Down. Oh, the stun on a Sencux. Huge damage coming through to Talon. Going to jump over the wall. Ignite is on, though. He is going to go down. Kubon gets first blood. But in the rest of the fight, the Lucian will drop as well. The engage on a Trashy. Huge damage. TakeFun finds another kill. beansu now not in the best spot. 2 Qs till he gets a knock-up. Jumps forward. Dodges Cocoon. Does not chase it down. 2 for 1, though. Gotta say, great for Mousesports.
The volatile Spiderling was lazy. He got tired and stopped chasing. It's just there in the corner. It's like, I'm so tired. I don't want to go around.
Even the chasing is volatile.
Yeah. But they are going to secure the red buff for themselves as well as first blood. That's a 2-1 in the overall trade there.
Yeah.
In favor of Mousesports, who are playing the early game really well.
Same as last time.
Just like last game. But I like their comp better this time.
Yeah,
except for the Elise top, but he's actually playing it really well. Oh, TakeFun's caught!
Not in the best spot. Sencux gonna get the kill, gets the red buff back for himself. Gotta say, that man waited around a little bit too long in that one. Thing is, they should have known that was warded, actually, because the trinket from Trashy went down in vision range.
Maybe thought he had time.
You never recall the enemy jungle on a ward.
Yeah.
You just never do it. It's like
rule
number 6 of counter jungling. Don't recall on top of a ward. Just don't do it. So, red buff actually goes to Reason Gaming this time. Trashy, getting around. A little bit of an engage in the bottom lane. Black shields are going to be strong there from Libic. He is stopping the stuns from BarneyD.
They don't know that Trashy's down here.
Goes in with the ulti, finds Libic. Huge damage comes through. Down he goes.
That's
no
a big
even assist.
Threat. You don't want to walk towards that.
Mako's got nowhere to go. Puts the barrier down. BarneyD forced to run away. Almost gets the damage, but no. Sencux even comes down as insurance. Bot turret should be going down.
So when you have such an aggressive player like Trashy, and you hand him Kha'Zix, one of the best junglers in the game currently, you have to have something up your sleeve for that. And you have to keep tabs all over that side of your jungle because they didn't see him coming in at all. And you saw that there with the ultimate, with the Void Assault. Walks up the 2 seconds straight up to him. Is like, oh, here I am, just immediately underneath your turret. That's got to be one of those moments where you're like, oh, I'm dead. I thought I could do something. TakeFun's having one of those too.
Not in the best spot for himself. Trying to get away. Looks like he'll be able to with this one. Okay, he's safe. He's safe. He's going to be okay.
Whew. Once again, Sencux going for the mobility boots, so he's going to start walking around the map, creating pressure, if he wants to use those effectively. Just similar to what he did last time, too.
Yeah.
We talked about no real boot out there is great for Talon. Even with the mobility boot nerfs, where you're slower in the combat, he still has mobility tools available to him.
Yeah. It's actually interesting. Mobi boots like that are in some, like, I know I keep fighting you on this every time you say it. Like, they're definitely nerfs in combat. Like, they are weaker boots. But hold on, KonDziSan not in the best spot. Gets stunned up, jumps over the wall. Nice move right there. Ward is already down.
Oh, they're getting collapsed on here.
TakeFun does not land the Q. He's going to jump in on BarneyD right here. Q is going to land the point blank stun. BarneyD taking huge damage right now. Puts the ward down, does die. Repel's not going to find anyone else to fight. No big deal there, but of course Kubon did make the rotation down for the Dragon, so Mousesports again in control.
Yeah, no time to fight me on this. They're going ahead and testing. Trashy got Cocoon. He's
the stun and Trashy, the knock up there as well. TakeFun does not follow it up though. Gonna be the knockback towards beansu, keeping them all safe.
Didn't go for the last breath. Sencux. Ooh. He's slower in combat. It might might hurt him here.
I mean, yeah, like those Qs can actually stop him out right there, but yeah, to finish the point, yeah, it's nerfed in combat, but you have 200 more gold to spend on items. So the detour to grab mobility allows Sencux to keep grabbing more damage while still being quick.
Yeah. It's just when you get into combat, it's great on somebody who has mobility tools available to them.
Yeah.
Like the Cutthroat, like the Shadow Assault.
Yeah.
Just because if you buy them on Wukong, it's kind of like, I have to ulti to keep up with people.
True.
I can engage.
True.
Which is the key point of that. But at the same time, you're like, all right, I have to have E to keep up with you. And on the overall, though, boots mobility are in a very healthy place.
Yes.
On a lot of champions.
They seem to be. Seems to be working out pretty nice for guys.
Because they used to be bought on just every jungler in the game.
Yep. A little more optimal now. Ooh. You do see a lot of Merc treads because those are so common.
Yeah.
Junglers still want the tenacity.
Now we see a lot of Merc treads.
Yeah.
With the Spirit, Ancient Golem, and the fact of mobility boots. And a lot of junglers skirmish now too. They are usually primary initiators.
Yeah, a lot of the junglers that are common right now are fighters.
Yeah.
Pardo's making Nautilus's life a little bit difficult. So like jungle clear is a bit slow compared to like Kha'Zix, and he's definitely going to lose that fight as well. So we'll see if he brings enough to the table to be worth being grabbed at some other point in time. TakeFun, going to take Wraiths. Apparently Wraiths equal fun.
Yep.
It's science. We've proven it right now in the LCS, the Challenger Series. Wraiths equal fun.
So, oh.
They both reacted. That's good.
Yeah, on the same page. And so, nobody's bought any armor in this game yet. Despite there being majority armor physical damage here with that mitigation, Kubon's the only exception in any of the solo lanes.
You know what's funny about this, actually, is think about who would even build tanky on Reason. beansu in the top lane, Trashy in the jungle. This early, Trashy's still getting his damage output going. beansu's fighting Elise one-on-one. Needs to buy MR early on. So no one gets to buy armor yet. This is actually a really nice power spike for Mousesports, where the damage is coming online, but no armor is yet.
Exactly. And even with that magic resistance for beansu, we have just 30 flat penetration coming out from the build from Kubon already.
Yeah.
The boots and haunting guys. He'll probably have some more in his runes and masteries. But on top of that, he's got this 30 CS lead over Renekton and Elise, who got 2v1'd at the start. Kubon, what are you doing? How do you do it?
Skillfully as how.
It's ridiculous.
It's very, very well played. I gotta say, I'm impressed by the Elise top lane pick. It is working out right now. We'll see how it transitions in team fights, because right now beansu is held very far down. Top lane turret should be going in. One more attack. They get it. Looks like Trashy and beansu not going to try to capitalize on their positioning.
Like, I know on a lot of websites, it's like, oh, Elise is a counter to Renekton early on in the laning phase, because it's just, oh, I'm going to bomb it on you and take percentage of your HP.
Yeah.
And Kubon, the big thing is you have to harass him without spending your mana and out-damage his co-limiting heal.
Yep.
Which he has successfully done, and it's not an easy task to do. So... But anybody thinks that it's an easy matchup, just go play Elise versus Renekton in solo queue, and you will feel the pain.
Yeah, and just with 2 Doran's Rings for mana regen, like no flask, no mana potions that I saw him buy, but managed to get the harass going.
That's enough.
Cowl's still not done. Yeah, it clearly is. I mean, it requires good last hitting to do it,
and
you're going to get a lot of mana
wave clear isn't that great either. Vault and Spiraling is the main source of it. This too.
And a Trashy waiting in the wings. No, jumped in there. Good damage comes through, actually. KonDziSan really looking for it, but the 3-man ulti comes in. You're going to find that they have the damage. Trashy does go down. TakeFun makes it happen. Livic not in a good spot. He's going to fall down as well. But TakeFun could find more. Does he get the damage output? Does not have the ulti anymore. Makes the knockup. Doesn't find too much else. beansu on the way back. No armor on him. Taking some pain. I'm going to say a 1-for-1 so far, but Mousesports in control of the map.
I liked the Solar Flare to go ahead and stop the pursuit there. But the Lucian kick came out, and TakeFun immediately used Last Breath off of it. beansu!
Oh, beansu! Oh, so, man.
Rule number 1 for top laner, don't back in the middle of the lane when your enemies are right there.
Yeah. I mean, pay attention,
Flashbacks to All-Stars.
Yeah. Got to keep a little more attention there. Unfortunately, for beansu, he did fall down, but of course, a great job by Mousesports. Now 3-2 in turrets, equal now in kills, and a minion lead in both the top lane and the mid lane by a lot.
Yeah, 30 in each of those. And now we have the Tiamat completed for Sencux. You were talking about the Tiamat synergy where you can go ahead and use it. Cancel the Shadow Assault and get it out quicker. Forces the flash.
Well, there we go. TakeFun pushed back right here. 2,500 gold lead right now for Mousesports. And Reason Gaming looking for the way back in, but honestly, they have not found a global to grab off the Mousesports recall. 30 seconds until Dragon, and it looks like Mousesports will be ready for it.
There's a lot of mobility fighters in this game, and I love watching it.
Yeah.
Just a lot of mobility. You see, like, Cutthroat, instantaneous teleportation, and it's like, oh, we can see him now. Now it's Shadow Assault. Now it's Lee Sin coming after you. And oh, there's Yasuo in the fight. And a Kha'Zix just jumping in there for fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of brawling, and I love it.
You know what's worth pointing out? Reason Gaming have 2 in-combat stealth characters.
Right.
Pink wards and an upgraded sweeper, very important for Mauno.
But also Lee Sin.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Lee Sin can reveal with his E and his Q.
He was using it on Trashy just a moment ago when he was ganking him. And oh, Trashy's going to have to get out of here, Libic.
Blind binding, Libic. Whoop. Good dodge. But it does mean there's no ulti for the Dragon Bite, and Mousesports are there in plenty of time. Renekton, beansu on the wrong side of the map for it. So Mousesports with another global. They move forward.
Completely mirrored from last game with the just flipping it.
Yeah.
Even in kills, but this time Mousesports is up with the Dragon control and the objectives. One more turret up. And they don't even have the same global pressure that they did last game with the teleport or the Shen ultimate Stand United. They're just walking there. They're grouping up, and they're saying, oh, we actually have a composition that's really good at team fighting and has synergy within itself.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and just do this. Despite having a top lane Elise, which isn't a standard meta champion, it's working out perfectly for them, and beansu has not gotten off the ground. Just now, like, he has to completely ignore going for a Tiamat.
Yeah.
He's going full tank build Renekton, so his damage is substantially lower in team fights.
Yeah, but we'll see. Like, the thing is, Renekton is, even without damage items, is enough of a threat to someone like Sivir that he can still make her hit him.
Yeah.
What I actually want to watch is the damage output of Mockler versus the tankiness of beansu. Because how long will beansu keep Mockler busy? Like, yeah, okay, Sivir can ult team anyway, and yeah, she has Ricochet anyway, but it's how long is Mockler going to be busy? How long is Livic going to have to peel for it? Can beansu get tanky enough by the time we get to endgame? By the time the big team fights really happen?
Yeah, and I assume it's a decision where they're like, all right, we have enough damage with Trashy and Sencux. Wow, Kubon.
Pretty good early damage. Trashy again forced ult. BarneyD locked up right here. The shield is on, but not going to be too much force to back off. Sencux looks for TakeFun. Big damage comes through, and look at the burst combo. Doesn't even try to use Wind Wall. He can't.
At the same time, if Sencux has actually just continued on to TakeFun, most likely would have been his death. He had that third charge up for last breath. Ready to
He's out of
finish it
cooldowns
out.
anyway.
Yep.
Talon's kind of a one combo sort of guy. Wow, big damage on Krislund. Forced a barrier. A lot of damage coming out of Sivir right there. Just the Bloodthirster making it happen. And I also got to point out, TakeFun did grab Ninja Tabby. No Zerk Greaves said, look, I'm fighting a freaking lot of AD assassins. I want to not die to them.
Yep.
So he doesn't.
Then we have Sencux. Still with the mobility boots. You have to roam around to make great use of those. And Trashy already has a Giant's Belt in his inventory, trying to negate some damage, trying to just stay alive in these all-out brawls, which will be the key in these fights, is to get some tankiness. Because there's going to be a lot of damage, because all these champions have great base damages.
Oh. You don't shield wards anymore. Gets revealed. Trashy stun goes on a Sencux. Some decent damage comes through. Talon down to 1,000 health right here. Kubon's still a major threat right now. Level 11 for himself. Hasn't even maxed the W so far. TakeFun level 12. Going towards Eve. Dark Binding's going to land on a BarneyD. Forced back. The Eclipse ends. 1,000 health on the Leona as well. Mousesports. As long as they position well for the fight, you can see KonDziSan waiting around and being the disengaged there. To jump in, they're going to be a two-man knock with their BarneyD low on health. The knockback coming in through to everybody. Living with a big ulti as well. What can they find? The kill on a Yasuo actually comes through for Reason. And Sencux is out. Trashy does fall down to KonDziSan though. The new jungler for Mousesports really coming up big there. It's a one-for-one trade, but Mousesports still in control.
Now they're going down that mid lane. We see KonDziSan off on the side, looking for something, but they're most likely going to have to give this up.
It's a cute move. The mid-air jump. You gotta be really strong to be able to jump in the mid-air. Like, how hard do you have to kick the wind to move yourself? Like, there is resistance there, theoretically, that could be possible with enough force.
Lee Sin's a parkour master.
Seriously.
Ridiculous. Doesn't even need buildings.
Nope. Just the air.
You could use Wind Wall.
Yeah.
He's got Yasuo on him.
You could jump off Wind Wall. That'd be awesome. Parkour off a Wind Wall. I feel like a Nivea would be really strong on that one, so it'll just fly up higher. It's like a really good thermal.
Okay.
What if League of Legends had, like, true-to-life physics?
Oh, God.
Would Janna even get stopped by a wind wall? Could she redirect the wind wall?
Would you go up the wind wall? Just
I don't know.
Note. Oh, speaking of physics.
Sencux finding the opening on the Kubon. Wow, the flash stops the second part of R. Repels up.
So much damage.
He's going to survive.
So much damage. Oh.
He survived because he flashed R2. We'll see if Sencux can get away.
Kubon's burst is huge. Sencux. Oh.
He tried to predict the jump, I think, but it didn't really work. Makler gets the kill anyway. Nicely done. There we go. It's cash money for Makler right there. The kill does not come in for Sencux. Kubon escapes that one. Kubon going for a Zonius after the 2 penetration items. I think it's a wise choice. I got to point out, though, beansu caught back up in minions, and they're both 1 kill, 2 assists. So for all the early game shenanigans, beansu is back to being Renekton.
Yeah. But Elise in the top lane, we just saw the damage burst there.
Yeah.
And that is going to signal to Sencux and the rest of the team at Reason Gaming, you can't just build armor.
Nope.
There's a lot of damage coming out. Basically took him from 100 to 25%.
Yeah. And that's what I love about top lane Elise, is that your core build is 30 flat magic pen. So if no one ever builds any MR, you still shred through almost all of it. And so you actually force some kind of itemization because they're gonna have 0 otherwise.
We see, looks like he got the memo there. So Trashy looks like he's on his way to a Hexdrinker, and a Brutalizer, and a Randuin's Omen.
All the above.
All the above. He's got a Giant's Belt, he's got 2 long swords, and he's also got the
No magic mantle. No, he's got to finish one of them.
I assume it's going to be the Hexdrinker.
Even Aegis wouldn't be bad. Aegis would actually help quite a bit, because the entire team would need the 20 MR to survive Kubon a bit more.
That's true, but that's BarneyD's job. Give it to him.
Yep.
Take the support to it.
Yeah, well, the dragon goes down, going to be picked up. Blue buff goes to Trashy, actually, forced to, looks like, smite that one away to make sure no steals come through. So Sencux, largely without blue buffs this game. He's gotten at least 1. I've seen him take at least 1 of the blue buffs, but being a little bit denied here. Looks like Mousesports have ward control over the blue buff area, and they're going to see the top, the bottom lane, the right-hand side of the map right now.
And denying these blues is great, because Talon's a very mono-dependent champion. Oh, sieging up.
Doesn't stop the entire culling. Part of the mini wave does go down. BarneyD not going to find an opening here. They could have let him last hit some of those. Get his Targon stacks to use. Honestly,
yeah. So
here's the thing, right? Like, their team could use Aegis so badly. Denying CS from the Targon's Brace or from the face of the mountain actively hurts them against Elise. Like, you're hurting yourself by denying Leona. You know that, right? Hashtag support tips. Don't deny the Targon stacks. Don't do it. It's bad for you. Oh, BarneyD still not allowed to get any CS. Although, I mean, to be fair, also he's partially playing safe because he's worried about Dark Bindings. But at some point, you just got to let Leona get it.
Yeah, top turret's taking a lot of damage, though. These minion waves are pushing up to it, and nobody's there to answer. Kubon's off on the side, just throwing out some cocoons.
Yeah, at least poke's not very useful.
No.
You can't W over walls in the Q1 breach. Ooh, Solar Pump's gonna land onto 3 right here. KonDziSan waiting around, gonna kick Sencux in, and there comes the engage on the backside. Doesn't even get any more kills than just the Talon so far. Krislund in the back line does go down. Yasuo getting kill credit for 2 of them so far. 3 kills come through. Big fight for Mousesports.
So even though that was a fantastic Steel Tempest, no last breath follow-up because he was eclipsed, or solar flared. Wasn't able to follow it up, and then they just kite forward, and Sencux, great kick from KonDziSan. They're going to get a turret off of this, and I want to take a step back for a second. Mousesports are 3-0 to Reason Gaming. Reason Gaming has beaten them 3 times head-to-head matchups in the Challenger Series. This could possibly be the first game they ever take off of them, and it's arguably one of the most important, because it is the playoffs now. Whoever loses this best of 3 is out, because it's the quarterfinals. If they win this one, even it up, there's a lot of pressure on Reason Gaming.
Yeah, absolutely is. I mean, in Sencux, like, he's not having a very good game here.
No.
First game, big game on Ziggs, played incredibly well for the team, was a big driving force in the siege. Here, his damage is coming online, but he's 2-3-2. He's got to make a much bigger impact in the fight so far, and he's not found his way in just yet.
His damage is not coming to fruition. Kubon has some armor in his kit too, and then it looks like TakeFun is heading that way with a Warden's Mail. So So now we're going to start seeing the defensive stats coming out. Up top, though, they ping Makler. They know that he's there. 4-on-2 is what it looks like in favor of Reason Gaming. Oh, they repel to get vision.
That was nice. Kubon definitely knows how to play Elise. Moves like that, like, let you know, yeah, he kind of knows what he's doing.
Oh, he misses
Dark Bite is going to land onto Sencux in the back line, actually. Arguably a good target for it there. The engage comes in, though. Down goes Morgana. Kubon diving in 4. You've got Krislund on the other side. Trashy coming around as well. Has a shield on top of a beansu. Down the front line, flashing over the wall. 5v4, but Mousesports
Barney
still in control right now.
Barney.
He's going in, wants the engage. TakeFun is going to go down. Knockup's not going to matter. Now Mock's in a bad spot. Flashes over the wall. He's got Kubon on the side to help him out as well. But here comes Trashy. He's going to get the reset. Can he get Kubon as well? Big damage comes through the leap. Jump into the air. Jumps back away. Kill comes through. Double kill Trashy. 4 for 0. KonDziSan gets away, but he's on the wrong side of the map.
And now he's going to run back into BarneyD. He's going to take that. Oh, he's going to go back to the ward. He
There's
wants
the ward.
Card.
Silence.
Oh!
Not going to happen. Sencux gets the kill. Ace comes in for Reason. It would be if Libic didn't respawn. But now this could be Baron and a big comeback fight for Reason Gaming.
The only person who can actually do anything about this is Libic. He's so far away. It's going down so quickly because of Kha'Zix and all the damage they have. He'll get there, but it's going to be a miracle steal.
And he can try.
He can definitely go for it.
That's going to be the Black Shield coming down. Q, nope. Blocked by Sencux, smart choice. And now Libic not in a good spot. Nebu's not quite going to hit. Still running away. Puts a ward down on top of another ward. There's the E. It's going to be the lock up there. The stun lands as well. Libic's going nowhere. Kill picked up by Trashy. 5, 3, and 4. That's big.
He was previously 2 and 3. Picked up 3 kills in those fights. And now, Mouse still up in gold, but temporary combat stats, Baron off the field, siege potential here for Reason Gaming, and that fight just did not go their way. I sitting there thinking BarneyD's on the wrong side, but he was absolutely on the right side there. And a lot of that was because Libic, to start the fight off, Dark Binding and face checked at the same time. Dark Binding, for some reason, was just a little too shy to the right, hit Sencux in the way back line. Then they walk forward and they're like, oh wow, there's people in this bush, Libic's getting blown up. And at the same time, Kubon dives the back line, says, all right, they landed onto Sencux. They start kiting backwards, and BarneyD, there's no focus on him. He goes off to the left. When they come back around, they recollapse in a 4v5 with all their small cooldowns back up, ready for that engagement.
Exactly. I'm surprised Mouseport stuck around.
Yeah.
4v5, they could have just gotten out, all went one direction.
Well, if they had gone backwards, they would have run into BarneyD.
But it's
possibly could have picked him up. Yeah, because he came into them.
Yeah.
Which was not the right move there for Mousesports.
Yeah. Better than waiting around to get collapsed on.
May have been a little overly confident because they had the feeling that the game was flowing in their way.
And they got strong players. Like, they had the ability to fight. It was a close battle even regardless. KonDziSan does not steal the Blizzard away. It goes to Trashy, who's got a level lead here in the jungle. Mid lane siege comes in. Now, Reason, with this Baron buff, they've only killed 2 turrets so far. There's a lot of potential gold on the map, but also a lot for Mousesports to defend.
Yeah, and speaking of potential gold, Dragon is up right now. This turret is at about 1/4 HP. So they have a lot of options available to them. They can siege up and use this Baron buff right now to go ahead and push this issue, get that turret for themselves, then rotate to the Dragon and start a fight there. Or just continue their siege.
Well, there we go. That turret's going to be going down. Krislund gets kill credit. Why the heck not? Money coming through to the Reason Gaming lineup. And the minion clear is very quick for Mousesports. Now, Reason is interesting because they basically lose 30 seconds if they go to Dragon and then come back for another siege. So they're capitalizing their Baron as much as they can just to get these turrets for sure, get as much potential turret damage. Oh. But this counts them not losing a fight so they can get Dragon on the backside.
So, Kubon, there's a huge minion wave top, and he's slightly... It looked like he was slightly going for it. He wanted to go for it. But right now, they sweep this ward out, and now, yeah, he's going to rotate over there. But it's good because Reason Gaming doesn't actually have a minion wave for a very long time.
This is so good by Mousesports. They stopped the wave, and Reason didn't react to the gigantic wave top. They let Kubon get all that gold experience very successfully. It was a great move by Mousesports. He waited till the mid lane was gone and immediately left. Wow, Mikhail's used to keep Krislund alive, and he barriered.
And healthy. Kept him nice and healthy.
Yeah.
So Dragon still on the field, no move for it just yet. Wards over the wall, they see this. But Mousesports does not. Mousesports denied a vision, they're starved.
But at least it does give Dragon over some Reason Gaming off the Baron buff. Get 1 turret, 1 Dragon. They have 15 seconds left. We'll see if they get much more. The game now within 700 gold. That team fight, so necessary for Reason Gaming. Brought them all the way back into this game. But you still got to wonder if they can keep it up again, or if the Yasuo carry, the Elise carry, can come through from Mousesports.
Yeah, it just takes one great Yasuo ulti to turn the fight around. Oh, the Dark Binding looked like it was going to hit Krislund there.
He would have died off it too. There's
Relentless
no more
Pursuit, it's on his tail.
Yeah.
It was like inside of the animation.
No.
Like, nope, 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 nope.
No, don't get minded. Safe.
Just barely.
Yeah. So it's interesting to point out, Reason last time had Caitlyn Ziggs. They had a great siege team. They could just show up in front of a turret and eventually make their way through. This time, almost no poke. Only one ranged champion on the entire lineup. And he doesn't have cleanse. So it's very difficult for Reason to do anything when they're ahead. They need these like rotational catches.
Yeah.
Ward control, set up things like Baron, set up things like Dragon, maybe steal away red and blue buff, catch him in the jungle, go from there with the Leona.
Which is one of the reasons I was surprised that they didn't go Dragon immediately after the first turret.
Yeah.
And then after that, rotate top for the huge minion wave.
Yeah.
Because that would have been free damage on that turret. And if you keep control of that left side jungle, you force Mousesports to push up and try to regain vision in the dark, or buy a blue trinket, which would be,
get one.
Be a great, actually a great pickup right now. Or force them to rotate the long way, and then you just eventually whittle the turrets down.
Yeah. And I'm actually a little... Go ahead.
I was just going to say, and they opted for nothing then.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised by the low number of sweepers in the game. You normally see a minimum of 3 per team by 25 minutes. Mousesports only holding on to 2 right now. They really want to just get trinket wards down to help watch rotations.
Ooh, they're looking for a catch here. BarneyD's going to take the bait.
BarneyD. Eclipse goes down. Solar Flare as well. Not going to be enough. Sencux wants the fight anyway. Pops ulti. Big damage comes through here. Krislund as well. Trashy in the back lines. The Naga comes through. Trashy not a good spot. Forced to jump backwards. Krislund goes down. Taking that 2 kills. Make that 3 kills now so far. Mousesports. Big team fight.
So they just come in from the back. Sit in the bush. And there were pings around it. Like, Mousesports had complete vision of that area, so Reason Gaming just caught out.
Overconfident, honestly. The fact that Sencux went in, it's like, it's 4v5, let's engage. Doesn't deal enough damage.
Trashy was
and
pretty
baits
far,
his team
too.
in. Exactly. They didn't even have 4 at the time. It was like a 2v5. beansu wasn't even in the fight.
Yeah. Sencux barely saved there. Got Lucian kicked out, and Morgana Tether didn't last. So, very, very close. And yeah, all the vision from Reason Gaming had been focused on the left side of the map near the Baron. So that all that dragon area, you can see Mousesports has had a complete dominance of it.
Yeah.
And now he's looking for something. beansu, what you want? Oh, he stops the back.
Okay. Loses Banshee's Veil, no big deal.
Sencux. Oh, he's looking for blood down bottom. But they ping it.
Yeah,
they know that he's there.
Sencux runs fast.
They know that he's sick.
Pops the jump, he gets the silence. Big damage comes through. Makler. Oh, he blocks the return R. The kick from KonDziSan. Makler stays alive.
Too greedy on that play.
Yep.
They saw him with the pink ward. They saw him with all that ward coverage on the right side of the map. He doesn't know that it's there, granted. But he's getting so aggressive and so picky in terms of what he wants to do. He's like, I want to pick this guy off. Let's go get him. And you saw that committal. You saw the pings come out. And you're like, all right, he's going to go for it. This is so telegraphed. And Baron is up now with 25 seconds left on Sencux.
That is not the right timing here for Reason Gaming. Overconfidence, I feel like, is the name of the game right now. They were 3-0 in the series, or like 3-0 so far in Challenger, 1-0 in the series. Now, Mousesports looking for a bit of a trap. Pink wards come down. Can they find the engagement of BarneyD? Can they find the engagement of anyone? 3 seconds now till Talon comes up, and Mousesports, they squander the 5v4. Several comes in.
He's so fast.
Kubon, can they find much Dark Binding? Plus the stun comes out, does not land. Mousesports forced to disengage. A nice little wind wall to keep them safe.
Now they're going to back off of this. And the funny thing is that Mousesports, you're talking about the sweeping lenses. They only had 2 last time I looked.
Yep.
And they still have ward advantage.
The thing is, there's still a pink ward. There's no pink ward, I should say, in Baron Pit, meaning Reason know about everything here. They're going to move forward. A little bit of damage on Olivia. Looks like it's going to be a disengage by Mousesports. They're going back and forth. Solar Flare is going to land onto Makler. The engage comes in. Windwall comes down. They have the damage. Trashy knocked away. TakeFun
still
shows up.
aggro.
Gets a kill. Baron is aggro, dealing damage. beansu not in a good spot. BarneyD. It's a 2-for-2 fight so far. KonDziSan stays alive. Kristoffer on the back line, though. Can he find Kubon? Can he find Makler? Stun on a beansu. Not good for Renekton. Makler, big damage.
Buff.
1 hit to go. Spell shoot comes in. Krislund does not want to help Makler right here.
Ooh.
Ricochet damage. Nope, not going to be enough. It's going to come too slow. All right, -1 here. Reason Gaming stop Baron. Going to lose another extra member of the team. Mousesports clawing their way back in after a very rough fight before a Baron a second ago. I guess 8 minutes ago.
KonDzi can just see Trashy every time he comes in. They also have the sweeping lenses completely upgraded to the Oracle's lens. So that when he stealths, Trashy's still going to be taking damage. You saw it there, just trying to burst him down, get him off the field so that they can possibly continue the Baron and pick it up with no chance of the smite steal.
Looks like Krislund puts the ward over the wall. I don't know if he really wants to go for this one, though. He's got to be afraid of Elise and Lee Sin. Teammates still pretty far away. Krislund W. Nope, not going to matter. Smite comes through. Here's a Sivir ulti. There's going to be no chase right here. So, man, what a game, though. Mousesports on their way back in. And I want to keep tabs on the Elise, by the way. Death Cap was his second item. Actually, he only just now got Zhonya's, I believe. And he's now going towards what I'm guessing is Sunfire Cave.
Yeah, a Void Staff, there isn't enough magic resistance on the field.
Not yet.
Have to get to about 5 items for a lot of these pieces before they start itemizing that.
Livik taking some pain. Nice dark binding over the wall, but Krislund and Trashy looking for damage. Livik could get jumped in here. Big burst comes through. He will be going down. And now Mocker's in a bad spot. Pops the spell shield. Trashy forced to jump away from this one. TakeFun has a knockup. Cocoon. Knockup's not going to land. Here comes Elise for the Q. Gets the kill. No! It's still going to come through though. Kubon now low on health. BarneyD can't keep chasing. KonDziSan into the back line. It's a 4 versus 4 on the map, forcing the flash and the dash over the wall. Reason Gaming disengage.
Nice zonies there from Kubon, but also BarneyD gets out with his life. It was so close. The Maw.
Yeah.
Is what did it for that quarter second there on Trashy. He was like, he's alive. Nope. He's dead. And now he has flash up and available to him. So he'll have that in the next fight. And here's something. Livik, his itemization. He gets the Zeeks.
Zeeks Herald.
He's like, all right, we have enough people who are auto attack based with damage. All 3 of them are going to benefit from that.
Yep. I don't see it often.
That's a real support right there. Be manly.
I mean, 20 CDR and some health does help Morgana, of course. But the rest of that item is there to help KonDziSan, to help TakeFun, to help Mockler. And they'll enjoy it. I mean, there's a lot of lifesteal now to be had. I mean, both Mockler and TakeFun already have a Vamp Scepter built item. They have even more now. So they're going to be nice and happy in team fights. Krislund has his red buff. 4, 2, and 5 for him. Actually adds a Hex Drinker himself. I very rarely see Hex Drinker on AD carries. Normally you see Spectre's Cowl.
Or you'd see something like a QSS against this team that has so much lockup.
Yeah, I could see QSS being really good against.
And like Mikhail's was already purchased by BarneyD.
Yeah.
So that would be used to try and remove that. But you can never be too safe against this team.
I agree.
Cocoons from Kubon have been great. The Dark Bindings as well.
Yeah. Honestly, though, Banshees is still the ideal pickup for Krislund.
Yes.
Like, yeah, getting extra health isn't amazing against Kubon, but they're still base damages. Like, health is still a good stat regardless. And you'll block Dark Bindings or Yasuo Tornadoes with it. Of course, you can't afford it, but still, that's the item I would go for.
That's typically the magic resistance item we'll see. That or GA. More so, Banshees go as of late.
Yeah.
And wow. So TakeFun, despite having the static shift.
Flash is not going to land, but Sencux taking huge damage, forced to disengage from this one. Trashy binded up now. Kubon in the front lines. Big Morgana ulti about to find the stun on a BarneyD. He's going to go down. Krislund on the side, not going to do much. Another kill picked up for Mousesports. 19-15, 41 minutes in. Could they push the base?
Kubon's damage is ridiculous. His burst, and then he just sits there, a golden spider.
Yeah.
And his team just cleans it up afterwards. The amount of pressure and the amount of safety he has. He has a GA, too. So he's got GA, Repel, Zonias. It's really hard to kill Kubon. It's no wonder he only has 1 death in this game.
High burst player, here we go. Mid inhibitor is going to be laid open here in Mousesports. With a 4-kill lead, going to get the first inhibitor of the game. And a pretty quick disengage off the Baron buff that is timed out soon. Stun on a Trashy, still looking for more. Not quite going to find it. Mousesports backs out.
So they're making their move top. Gonna try to cut off anybody who chases them, clear out the ward vision, establish dominance in this top lane. That is what is next in their sights. Go ahead and push that out. Look at this. This is so sneaky. So sneaky. It worked once. Why wouldn't it work twice?
Oh no.
Is it the same guy? BarneyD!
The repel comes in a bit early, but the cocoon's going to land. TakeFun on the side. BarneyD's got nowhere to go. Spell shield by Mauno is going to be safe. And there we go. 5v4 top lane has a minion wave. Mousesports, they could keep going, get more on this one. Krislund with the ulti into the back lines. Good damage on Olympic. KonDziSan going to help keep him alive, but there's a low health Morgana. Here comes the siege.
Don't even back. They think they have this? Mousesports.
I don't know, this might be a little bit too aggressive. There's a couple of low health bars here.
Yeah, BarneyD's off the field.
Done
Very long time.
Big early damage. The jump in from Lucian, dashing away. Damage back onto KonDziSan. Big ulti comes in. Gonna be a lot of pain. Turret goes down. Trashy in the back line is gonna get ran. It's kicked in the face. Down he goes. 5 versus 3 for 10 more seconds. TakeFun looking in for beansu right here. This Renekton not in the best spot. Stun comes back around. The big damage of Krislund. But a good win well's gonna keep him safe. Top inhibitor goes down as well. The respawn's just now for reason.
And so now they have super minions up in the mid lane. Now they're going to start coming into the top lane. And that was a great stick around there from Mousesports on the overall. Once they got an advantage, about 4K gold for themselves, they just took an entire arm after that.
Did.
Now they're looking for the victory here. They have those 2 lanes pushing. Most likely will go to the bottom lane and just push the issue even more. Timer on.
Well, there's 2 good timers here from Mousesports right now. Kubon's just getting blue buff. Dragon comes up in 45 seconds, then Baron comes up 30 seconds afterwards. Mousesports can secure 2 more global objectives and then start the siege with almost no missing beats.
Yeah, that's true. And great timers here. Very lucky. I don't know if that's calculated.
Fortunate. They're fortunate
very
timers.
Fortunate. Very fortunate timers for them. If they were keeping them, be like, all right, push this wave out, go do Dragon, go do Baron, then go push, have these extra combat stats, have even more gold available to us, and some more levels, which never hurts your support in the late game.
I mean, you got to remember, Mousesports earlier in this game threw away a very big 5-for-0 fight and gave away Baron. Nearly lost the game because of it. They did claw back in, but they got to realize, look, Reason can win these fights off of one good push. Remove the globals that Reason could take off of the team fight win to make sure even if you do lose a fight, you don't lose much for it.
Yeah, and they clawed their way back in, basically Fnatic pushing people.
Yeah, they did. It was one really good catch.
And then they did it again to Barney right there, and that was the turret and the inhibitor as a result. And now we see KonDzi. Actually, they're just going to ignore the Dragon and the Baron because Reason Gaming can't go for them right now.
Yeah, they can't go for them right now. I think even a team fight lost. Wow, very aggressive play. The jump in. They're going to find the quick kill on a Sencux. This could be the game. Do they find much more? Finding on a Trashy. TakeFun forced to run away from this one. He's going to go for the more knockouts. Yes, the shield comes in. Trashy a bit durable. Kubon in the back lines. 5v4. Can they get much more? Libic flash ulti in. Kubon will be going down to the GA. He'll revive up soon. Knock up there on a Trashy in the back lines. Krislund's still alive. Kubon revives. Down goes Trashy though. BarneyD and TakeFun. Going to be a much better fight for TakeFun. Looks like 4 kills coming through. Only Krislund alive. Mousesports makes it 1-1.
They're all red, and now Kubon gets dropped there. But all of them are red except for Mockler. They're all so low, and it's just a great little rotation in that micro with Mousesports to take game 2.
There we go. 9-kill lead to close it out. 45 minutes. A hard-fought game. Once again, these guys made it happen by the mid-game. Got to say the 10 to 15 minute mark started going really well for Mousesports. They found a couple of fights. The rotations off the first pick, Yasuo, absolutely worked. They found their footing in team fights finally.
Yeah, and they basically picked a lot of fighters into another team that had a lot of fighters, so nobody had any magic resistance or armor even. So it took a very long time for that to come out, and when it did come out, Mousesports has already established himself as the dominant force in the game.
Yeah.
So even it up 1-1 first game that Mousesports has ever taken off of Reason Gaming with their new jungler, who was stepping up big there. I love that Lucian pick into Kha'Zix because you can see him and at least do damage to him. Like, people are like, oh, he takes 50% less damage while he's stealth, but at least you could see him and do damage to him when you have that pick on your team.
And I gotta say, they balanced the aggro so well, even though you had a Talon who had... Honestly, I gotta say, so I'm thinking about the Talon pick because I want to bring attention to it. Lost the laning phase early on. TakeFun beat up Sencux in the laning phase. 20 minion lead or so by about 10 minutes. Pretty sizable advantage there. The mobility boots did not pay off for Talon. I didn't see any of those like roaming ganks pay off. Sometimes he overextended, got himself killed. In fact, in general, Sencux's engages got him or his team killed. I'm thinking about the 1v1 at Mockler in the bottom lane. Randomly roamed down, got spotted, counterganked by Kubon. When BarneyD got sort of Fnatic brushed. And then Sencux re-engaged the like 2v5, got his team killed there as well, lost Baron buff. Decision-making, a little bit weak right now. I know Reason Gaming are a strong team. I think they should go back to a sort of Siege type composition and play from there because their team fighting is generally good, but their playmaking is actually screwing up right now. I think they're getting out individually skilled by Mousesports.
It's the aggressiveness.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the desperation move there, too. And I feel like Libic on that Morgana in game 2, like not changing up the pick at all, had a great game 1.
Yeah.
His game 2 was even better. His ulties, he was tethering more people more consistently, more often.
Yeah. Worked out. They went into him. He bound them up. Worked well. Of course, with that, Mousesports are now 1-1, and they're going to be heading into elimination. We've got to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, an exciting Game 3 is among us. Don't go anywhere.